It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago. And it's 7 p.m. here in New York City. I'm Mad Dog DeCipio, and welcome to what's supposed America's best podcast. I'm joined each and every week by Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman. How are you, Amelia?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. What'd you do for fun today?
It just worked. That's it.
That's what you do for fun?
Nothing.
Oh, I got to get you out more often. Jeez. That sucks.
I know, right?
We have an incredibly special guest tonight. She is back. A return appearance, ladies and gentlemen. The return of Mary Murphy. How the hell are you, Mare?
Woo, woo.
Yeah, I'm with you, lady.
I'm back.
The return of Mary Murphy,
I'm doing
America's favorite dance choreographer. Let me tell everybody a little bit about Mary Murphy. How did become an American dance legend? Well, if you're Mary Murphy, you answer a newspaper ad for a dance instructor trainee. Well, see, you wouldn't know it, but only 1 week later, look at this shit. 1 week later, she becomes a credentialed dance instructor. Legend has it that the studio owner invited her to attend the U.S. Ballroom Championship in New York. And that, my friends, is how legends are born. Mary Murphy, as it is told to me, was bitten by the ballroom bug. And she acted as a double for Julia Roberts, a dance double, by the way. In the film Something to Talk About, she appeared in Dance With Me with Vanessa L. Williams. And from there, it's been nothing but good things for our favorite TV dance judge and choreographer. Mary is the owner of Mary Murphy's Champion Ballroom Academy in San Diego, California, 4255 Ruffin Road, Suite 200, San Diego. And the telephone number there is 858-737-9088. Give Mary a call. Tell her the Mad Dog sent you. How the hell are you, Mary?
I'm doing fabulous.
We got to do this more than once a year.
Yes, we do.
I told Amelia that. So we got to do this, at least twice a year, maybe 3 times, because I like you. I like having you here. You make me laugh. You bring out the beast, the best in you.
I want to know how Amelia got the pit bull title.
Tell them how you got the pit bull. Go ahead. I want to let you do the honors.
Well, let's see. We were doing this show.
Never mind, Amelia. I'll tell you. You're taking too long.
Oh, be quiet.
We had a show one night. And we had some rather arrogant guests in the chat room.
Just call them assholes. Come on.
Yeah, they were getting a little mouthy in the chat room. And Amelia said, yeah. And so Amelia said, fuck this shit. I'm done with them. Watch this. And so she went off and went, oh, you the pit bull now. And that stuck.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You just press the button and X them out. That's awesome. And
they were,
you should have. I have a feeling.
And they were being rude to Angelo too, so nobody's rude to Angelo. So, nope.
No.
I got me a protector.
On somebody's show and be rude to him. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, Mary, when last we left off, 14 months ago, how the hell are you, baby?
I'm doing really good. I certainly wish So You Think You Can Dance would come back, but it looked like what they did to it last season crashed the whole thing. I don't think it's coming back.
Well, I have a hell of an idea for a dance show. And you and I talked about it off there. I'm serious. It might be a really good idea called Dance Court. There should be like a triad of 3 judges, right? And you of course, are like the Supreme Court. Your vote overrules everybody, right?
I like that part.
Yeah. So you have like 3 judges, and if 2 vote one way and won't vote the other way, and you happen to vote that same way, well, then we got a tie. Then we have to have a tiebreaker dance. I think it could work.
Then are we going to move? If they get passed, they move along to the next.
Yeah, Yeah, the
next
next
day,
round,
or is it
absolutely.
just one show in and out, you're done, and move on to the next group of dancers?
Yeah, exactly. It looks like, as you said, it looks like So You Think You Can Dance is done.
Yeah.
So, and I heard that, and I thought that's what a shame. It's a waste of a great format. I'd love to see some of the old crew come back and fight.
Right.
Fight that to bring it back.
Well, you never know. It could come back on another network. Look what American Idol, Fox nixed that, and look how successful it is. They went back and ABC bought it. Of course, when ABC started to get interested in it, by the way, then all of a sudden Fox started bidding on it too. But ABC went out, and look at that show now. That and AGT is one of my favorite shows on television right now. I just love watching talent shows.
It's remarkable when something starts to do well and something starts to make money, all of a sudden people have regret, don't they?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they want their pet project back. Well, isn't it funny like that? Sometimes things don't work out the way we want, and sometimes they work out blessedly or splendidly. I would love to see, because I watched that show, So You Think You Can Dance, religiously, and largely because I can't dance, and I don't think I can be taught to dance. I've got worse than 2 left feet. I have no left feet, and that's my problem.
I think anyone can be taught to dance, right? No matter what age, correct?
I agree, Amelia. I think anybody could learn how to dance. Did you walk to where you're sitting right now?
I did.
Did you? Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, and I can teach you to dance.
There you go. There's
walk straight.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something that happened. This is a true story, and I'm not making a word of this up.
Okay.
I took my wife and my mother out for dinner one night, and I told them that I wanted that I was contemplating going, to dance for dancing lessons. I even had a wonderful woman picked out, Mrs. Adiagio, a nice Italian lady. And her dance studio is right up the street, as a matter of fact. They both burst out into the loudest laugh you ever heard. The entire restaurant turned around and looked at us. And I was just crushed. Every time I drive past Mrs. Adiagio's dance school, I like a little tinge inside me goes, just cranks it up a little bit. Because I really wanted to, first of all, I have no coordination.
Were you taking a lesson, or did you just go in and dance?
No, I wanted to. Well, you have to know how to dance to dance. Right. I can't dance for shit, Mayor.
So you were taking a lesson.
I wanted to, and I never got past the front door. They crushed my spirit so badly.
Right in the front door? How's that possible?
I never walked into the studio. I was so dismayed by my wife and my mother telling me that it was a silly idea, and they laughed. I said, you know what?
I see. So it wasn't the dance instructor that was laughing. It was your mother and your girlfriend.
And my wife. My wife.
And your wife.
Yeah, my wife.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have been awkward if I had my wife and my girlfriend.
Oh my God, really?
No wonder it didn't work out that night.
No, but here's the thing. I really wanted to learn how to dance because I know that I'm uncoordinated, and I know that I have like horrible balance, and I'm not the most graceful guy in the world. And
listen,
I thought to myself, well,
you're gonna listen to the judge. Here, I'm already doing dance court on you. So what you need to really do is you need to go in and take a few lessons by yourself, because the guys do have so much more to learn, because the ladies will pick up faster if they have a good leader. So we got to get you going, understanding the basic elements. And once you understand the basic elements and how they're put together, which are mostly from walking, side steps, things that you already do in life, but it's just a matter of being repetitive and doing something over and over again until you get completely comfortable. And then bring your wife in and then set up a great big dinner someplace that's going to have a little dancing and take her for a night out and surprise her.
There's a thought. Ooh.
There you go.
And that's great because she doesn't hear a word of this because she don't watch the show.
Like, I get it. I'm not watching. But go take her to a dance lesson as a gift and then go to dinner so that whatever, at least one basic dance she has a working knowledge of too, because it won't work very well if she can't dance a lick. She has to learn too a little bit. But
splendid idea. A wonderful idea. Mary, let me ask you a question.
Valentine's Day or Christmas. That's a good one. You can get packages sometimes at a discount.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really good discount.
So let me ask you a question then. Are women's bodies designed better for dance?
No, I don't think so.
Why is it that...
Depends on what kind of dancing you're talking about too. And because I see
generally speaking,
you talk about flexibility in itself. You see today, especially guys that are just as flexible as women. It's unbelievable.
Even barring flexibility, even just the natural fluidity of a woman's form.
No, what happens in this country is, maybe so in Latin dancing. But what happens in this country at some age, everybody, all the babies start dancing in this country. You put music on there, and the parents, even the guys, think, oh, wow, this is great. Look, oh, my God, they have the beat, And then as soon as they get about 5 or whatever, that's not cute to some parents anymore, especially, I have to say, the fathers. And it gets wiped, that's not cool to do anymore, where the other countries almost around the world nourish that. In almost every culture, there is dancing, and they love it and they thrive in it, and that's how you have a good time. You go out, you eat. I've
always been curious. I've always been curious of that, whether men and women were built differently, whether it makes a difference if you start younger. There's something.
Later. I know Adam Shankman and Sonia didn't ever really was a dancer on our show. She said she started reading books in college and got a degree in dance by reading books, that she didn't have the professional quote dance career like some of the other judges did.
Interesting.
It is, isn't it? I was wiped out by that notion. I had to have a million lessons.
And some of them start at the age of 80, 90 years old. Some of them.
I have a lady right now that
do you dance, Amelia?
She's 85 now, and she's killing it.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, showed me some of the dances and stuff like that. And Michael, I've seen them dance a lot. And I could tell, when they're dancing, I could tell how stiff they are. They should have done this and stuff like that. I could just tell by the eye too, just by judging. And I told Michael, I said, oh, they should have done this. He goes, exactly. You have the good eye for that.
Well, let me ask you a question then. Do you dance, Mill? I never asked you that before.
Well, sometimes Jeff showed me how to do the swing and things like that.
Right.
The waltz. So I'd really like
Mary,
to learn
is it difficult to learn technique? The dance moves themselves are what they are. But everybody has, I noticed, a particular technique, a way of achieving the move. What's tell me the difference between technique?
When you first come in, you learn patterns. How you actually, it's like as if you could imagine that somebody took a book or they put footprints on the floor. That is a pattern. And so that is a step in itself. And so that a lot of people start to latch on that fairly quickly. Like I said, a lot of it's close to walking and side steps, triple steps. It's just a syncopated side step, and rocking back and forth or marching in place is called the rock step. And those are the 4 basic elements of dance. And those make up all the different steps that you're ever going to use. It's just a matter of, again, like you said, there are patterns, and then the technique is learning actually how to dance. Then there is the foot technique, the leg action technique, the rib cage technique, and all of these, I'll call them chambers right now, or blocks, have different things going on. And when someone can learn to put that all together, then you have a fluid type of action that looks more natural. It's a rare person, there's these savants in almost everything in life. And there will be somebody that walks in that just seems to naturally be able to do Latin dancing better, or you teach them a few steps, and you're not teaching the technique yet, but as an instructor, you always demonstrate to the fullest of what technique should look like, so that they're always getting visual kind of on what it should look like. And some people, you're not even talking about different stuff, and you're demonstrating full out, and all of a sudden they're able to mimic what you do, and you're like, what the hell? Oh my gosh. But then when you start breaking it down to them or something like that, then it kind of confuses them. But there's some people out there that will naturally start dancing in a waltz, which is very technical to make that look great. But some people just kind of adapt. And so it takes us instructors a little while too, to see what you're best suited for. What kind of dancing? Are you better a West Coast swing dancer? Are you, better at a cha-cha or a waltz or a quick step? It's interesting to find out. And some people that think that I really want to become this, they come in and they find out, wow, they came in for Latin dancing, but actually they're really good at waltz, tango, quick step.
It's fun. That's a great segue, Mary. It's a great segue. Everybody has their journey. Yours, as I said in the beginning, your journey was, I wouldn't want to say unusual. I'll say it's quintessential Mary Murphy. You answered an ad.
Right?
You answered an ad in the paper. Well, let me ask you a question. Let's go back even before this.
Okay.
What prompted you to even, was it like you were just looking for a job, or did you say, hey, I think I can do this?
No, I was married in college, and it's well documented that was a very abusive relationship, and I really wasn't allowed to work. And I had 3 job offers when I graduated right there at the Ohio University. And once he saw that it looked like I was going to get a job again, then he said that he had a job in Washington, D.C., and he moved me down there. And he was from an extremely wealthy family. So I was wealthy when he was around. But when he would go back to the Middle East, he would leave me with next to nothing. So I was kind of desperate after a while, because the war was going on in Beirut, and a lot of things were happening over there. And I wouldn't hear a word from him. I didn't know if he was alive or dead. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I had a teaching degree, but the school year had already started. I have a physical education degree. And fully, that's all I wanted to do. I never really wanted to be a dancer. I never thought I'd have a life in dancing. My God. I was such a tomboy. And it was really that answering that ad that kind of changed the whole, fork in the road happened. That I never had access to anything like that when I was growing up. I didn't really know to be anything else but to be an athlete and to live that life, because that was all that was made available to me. And
but you found out though very quickly that you and dance were like a fish out of water. I mean, you found your ocean.
Yes, I did. And so I think they saw that. I wasn't really inspired by what was going on in that school. And that's when the manager of the studio asked me to go to New York. And it was just like a movie. It was just like that in Strictly. I think maybe it was even Strictly Ballroom, or even with Dance With Me, the 2 big, huge double doors open. I walk inside. I'm hit like a lightning bolt. I see 25 dancers swooping. They all had ball gowns on with hair and makeup and all this stuff, everything that I really wasn't at all. But I felt it on a cellular level. It hit like a lightning bolt. It went from head to toe. I looked up at them that brought me, and I said, I haven't even sat down yet. Those things are 4 days long. I'm 10 feet inside that ballroom. And I say to them, I'm going to be the United States champion. I'm going to be a professional ballroom dancer. And they just started laughing at me. It's like, we were just hoping you'd stay at our studio.
I can relate to the people laughing at you and thinking you're crazy. I can certainly relate to that. I had it done to me.
Is that
So
right?
yeah,
What
absolutely.
happened to you?
Yeah, and the people laughing was my mother and my wife. But let's talk a little bit about this. There are any number of forms of dance. What was it particularly about ballroom that seemed to like speak to you?
Well, I had modern dance in college, so that was the first time that I ever danced at all. Was in college. I started taking classes in modern. I was just going to take one class because I need to have all these electives in physical education. And
Right.
they had a great modern dance program, and I took one, and I just loved how funky it was, and how pretty much any kind of course, there's a big structure and technique underneath of all that. But I just found a way to express myself that I've never felt before. And to do that to music, I thought was awesome. And they had one like ballroom class there, but I just thought it was stupid. And it was really
That's a good way.
1, 2, 3,
Right?
1,
What's the hardest dance to teach?
So, anyways, I just fell in love with as soon as I started doing ballroom. I saw all these people dancing together. So in modern dance and ballet, for the most part, you dance and practice by yourself all the time.
Right.
And I saw how beautiful two people dancing together, and that you would be practicing together. I just thought, oh my God, that's so awesome.
There's something very romantic about it, something very sensual.
Intimate, very intimate.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, there's a
You
connection.
can kind of have a semi-marriage with your dance partners.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there is something. Well, I mean, let's be honest about it. There's something very connective about that kind of dance style. It's two personalities, two bodies intertwining, moving in unison, moving in fluidity. It's quite sensual to watch, particularly if you're watching two people that are really good at it.
Yeah. And it is the technique, and when all that technique just tends, like I said, to blend the connection between the partnership, it's so amazing when you're really in tuned. There are dancers that have been together for 25 years, and it's so hard to beat them as a couple because they are so in tune to every little millisecond of
oh my God, you opened up a Pandora's box, Mary Murphy. Boy, did you open up a Pandora's box. Let me and I'm not going to tell you who the people are, but you'll probably know when I tell you. There was a well-known dance couple. I will never mention their name. They were a very well-known dance couple. They won championships all over the world. They couldn't stand each other. But when they were together on the dance floor, they moved like one. How is that possible?
Well, that's extremely difficult because I know all the top dancers in the world, and there are some. I'm not going to mention their name either, but I'd be waiting for them while they do their rehearsal because this is just an example, that I was going to go out to dinner with them afterwards. And I was sitting there on the side of England, and they were yelling and dropping the F-bomb on each other every 2 seconds. I thought they were going to get into a brawl, and I'm sitting there thinking, should I leave? Should I still wait? I mean, God, I can't go to dinner. These guys are like, at each other's throats, and I don't even feel good anymore. I'm like all uptight, and thinking that this is going to be the worst. If I do go, it's going to be just horrific. So they finished their practice. They came over to me and they said, where do you want to go eat? I said, you guys still want to eat? And they were like, yeah, we'll go to dinner. And so when we got to dinner, they said, fine. I'm telling you, if somebody told me "fuck you" to my face, there wouldn't be dinner. I wouldn't be going to dinner with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
I am so happy right now. Mary Murphy just said "fuck you."
I told you to.
You want to know why I love this woman? There you go. Amelia, Pitbull Chapman, questions for Mary Murphy.
What is the hardest dance to teach so far that you've come across?
Oh, good
You
question.
know, it just depends. It's so individualistic, this sport, and there's the people that are just trying to do it socially, and then you have little kids that are dreaming someday of being a world champion.
Oh, yeah.
Like for me, some people like samba is seriously a totally different animal. And that's one thing about the Latin dances. They're so different. The cha-cha and the rumba are related. They're like cousins. Then you've got a samba, which is you move your body way completely differently. Then you have the paso doble, you move your body completely differently. And then you've got the jive, which is completely different again. I think sometimes the ballroom dances, you have more that are connected and almost the same, like waltz and foxtrot are related, and even quick step and Viennese waltz are closer together in the way you move. Tango's a little bit of a different animal, but that's still, they're more closer together, where Latin dancing has totally different vibes and a totally different technique on how you move. So
is that why Latin dancing is so precision, so precise? That it's almost, when I watch Latin dancing, and I'll be very honest with you, on some level, it unnerves me a little bit. You're laughing because you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yes. When two people can do it at an unbelievable level, it's like, should I really be in the room?
When I watch it, it's almost like, it's so precision, it's almost like mechanical.
Well, I can see where you might say that. See, I don't see that because
perhaps my terminology might be wrong, but right. You get where I'm going with it. Yeah.
Yes, I do. The footwork and the leg action is so quick and so precise.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, they all put a little something on their shoes, whether it's water or castor oil, to make it stick. So everything is so clear and sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Footwork.
Oh yeah, just like the
tricks of the trade you didn't know about, son of a gun.
Yeah,
no shit.
But on their shoes.
But by contrast, freestyle dancing, where seemingly everything goes, that's got to be incredibly hard to judge.
It really is. I think you're right about that. As far as, if you go from there and you're talking more like hip hop lines. But I was just so lucky to be on So You Think You Can Dance, because it introduced, I've always known about hip hop. I've always taken a little bit of hip hop, but to see someone like a Cyrus, like be able to isolate every little section of his back along, or he had the capability to isolate like what's the right word? It would go all over the place.
Yeah.
At his will, it wasn't just random, let me just shake it out and see if that works. Like my father, he couldn't stand the hip hop on the show. He goes, if you're gonna be shaking that, keep those couples shaking about. I don't want to watch the show. I said, that's a lot more than shaking around, Dad. But I certainly had a massive appreciation from So You Think You Can Dance, to see people like Fiction, Twitch, and everybody at a high level just blew me away, and to be able to see it up close like that.
Speaking of high level dancers, freestyle dancers, what made Twitch such a force to be reckoned with on the dance floor?
Well, I think, it was his personality, first of all. Besides, he was a good dancer. He just couldn't